fact that the Select Committee dealt with this matter extremely well. Those two issues were extremely sensitive. They gave rise to quite a number of submissions, and I hope that we've, as it were, solved things so that Ngāti Wai interests won't feel anxious any longer.
Mr Speaker.
Call Reno Cherokatani.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Tēnā rā koutou i ngā rangatira I roto I te whare nei. A Ngāti Manuhiri, nau mai haramai I raro I te tūnui o te whare pāramata I takatū nei. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr Speaker, I rise to speak at this, the second reading of the Ngāti Manuhiri Claim Settlement Bill on Treaty Settlement Day. And I too am pleased to have been participating in the Māori Affairs Select Committee, which we heard many submissions on the bill. And as Minister Finlayson has just pointed out, there were a couple of key aspects that I'm very, very pleased with the way that they've ended up in terms of clarification on those two particular points. But Mr Speaker, I just want to start my speech because I've sort of had a theme on all my treaty settlement speeches, and I like to go over the importance of understanding Māori history and whakapapa, genealogy, the family tree, so to speak. And my whakatauki pāhia has been to understand whakapapa is to understand Māori history. And the rich tapestry, to pinch a phrase from my whanaunga there too, the rich tapestry of the history of Aotearoa is woven like an elegant whāriki, but sturdy whāriki, made to sit upon, hold weight, with each strip of flax crossing back and forth and connecting to another strip going the other way. Soon, Mr Speaker, those strips of lovingly prepared harakeke, they run out and make up the borders of the whāriki. But that whāriki represents the whānau, hapu and iwi, and each strand is a source of information and a font of tribal knowledge. Mr Speaker, may I acknowledge my own part in the weaving of this map, known as the Ngāti Manuhiri Claim Settlement Bill. For I too am a descendant of Maki, the eponymous ancestor of Te Kawerau, our Maki. Our shared history tells of a chief of Ngāti Awa, or Runga o Te Rangi, also known as Koro Ātiawa, named Maki, who had as a wife, the daughter of Mutunga, a wahine by the name of Hine Pueru, and whose area of influence stretched between Taranaki and Kāwhia. My ancestors of Ngāti Rārua and Ngāti Toa, who back then were known as Ngāti Mango, and who were his relations, went north to Kaipara and on to Hokianga in support of Maki's take. He eventually returned to the Kaipara to settle the land with those inhabitants that never opposed him. That group of journeying warriors and family became the original Te Kawerau or Maki, who intermarried and settled the Kaipara and came down into the Waitakere and other parts of Tāmaki. Indeed, Mr Speaker, my ancestor Tūpāho was part of Maki's journeys and so settled on Maunga Kieke with a beautiful wahine of Waiohua named Hine Te Ao. Years later, another take took Tūpāho back to Kāwhia and Marokopa to assist more relations in his original homelands of the west coast between Taranaki and Kāwhia. That is my connection to Ngāti Manuhiri, sir. Maki nui of Ngāti Awa o Runga o Te Rangi, no te tai hauauru. And so, Mr Speaker, every taonga has a name, sir, and the name of this whāriki that I've been explaining is kōrero onamata, of history. Its name suggests an association to history and genealogy and to the spoken word. These three things are woven into this whāriki, which lay before Ngāti Manuhiri today. So to repeat, sir, to understand whakapapa is to understand Māori history. And my other colleagues in this House have been talking about will talk about the background and to the actual and elements of the bill. But there is a common theme which has been running through these readings, Mr Speaker, and that's the equivalence of mana and whenua, of authority and land in the equation that makes up Māori life. And may I take the time now to talk about Te Hauturu o Toi, because that was the big issue that we confronted as a select committee. and Little Barrier, which is Little Barrier Island. This culturally important little island that has played a significant role in the history of Ngāti Manuhiri, but indeed all of Māori. In our kōrero, Ona Mata, Hauturu is afloat on the net of Toi Te Huatahi, regarded by Māori as a founding father of this nation. So with the use of toponymy and whenua taunaha, the naming of the land, Toi used certain points from Hauraki to Whāngarei as markers of his mana motuhake, that authority. And from those very early times of Toi through to the Middle Ages of the 15 and 1600s, the mana of Hauturu changed several times until the arrival of the tupuna maki of Ngāti Awa o Runga o Te Rangi no Te Tai Hauauru, the great-grandson of Haumea of the Potama region of North Taranaki. So my own tribal kōrero recalls Maki pursuing a foe all the way to the Hokianga, where he captured his enemy. But in that unique Māori way, he let his capture go. He let his captor go. Maki then returned to the kaipara, and with those original inhabitants and his original followers, invested the Waitakere and Waitemata regions, in those regions, eventually ending with his descendants, the Ngāti Manuhiri, a hapu of Ngāti Wai, having mana over the region which we have spoken today, including Hauturu. So this kōrero Ona Mata is tika, but today it is acknowledged by the Crown that Ngāti Manuhiri will receive Hauturu back for a period of 7 days before gifting it back to the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And we did include some clarification around that it doesn't, in recognition of the submissions that were received, that it wasn't a recognition of the mana to the exclusion of other iwi, and so that has been reflected in the bill, which is we've reported back, sir. But there is a rich history, Mr. Speaker, in terms of these treaty settlement bills, and I've been able to outline my own connection, and people must think, gee, that guy's connected everywhere. But literally, there is a lot of connections, and that makes up who we are as our unique history as Māori in Aotearoa. So I would just like to mihi to Ngāti Manuhiri and all of the negotiating team and all of the great rangatira that were involved in the progression of this claim, and now through to this bill stage. We're nearly there. We're just up to the second reading, and we're on the home stretch. So I'd just like to mihi to you all, and the beauty is that by doing this mahi, it's sort of opening up to me and revealing a whole lot of connections and a whole lot of the history, which makes up, as Tau says, the rich tapestry that we have here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, as tangata whenua. So I'd just like to mihi to them all, and I commend this bill through the next stages of the House. Kia ora no tātou.
Mr. Speaker. Denise Roach.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Ki ngā tangata o Ngāti Manuhiri.